There is a specific moment in almost every home when a single object is placed somewhere it does not belong. A receipt on the counter, a jacket on the chair, a cup left by the sink instead of in it. That moment feels harmless. It takes 3 seconds. And yet, that 3-second decision is the exact moment where a mess is born. Not from laziness, not from a lack of time, but from 100 tiny decisions like this one, made without thinking every single day. In Japan, there is a different relationship with this moment. Not a rule written down anywhere, not a cleaning technique taught in school, but a quiet discipline passed through generations. A way of moving through a home that makes accumulation almost impossible. Today, we are going to understand exactly how that discipline works and why it succeeds where willpower alone always fails. Let us start with the mechanism itself, how mess actually builds, because most people misunderstand this completely. Mess is not created by one big event. It is created by delay. Every object in your home has what we might call a decision point. The moment it enters a space and needs somewhere to go. When that decision is made instantly, the object disappears into its place and the space stays clear. When that decision is delayed, even by a few hours, the object becomes a kind of anchor. It sits. And once one object sits, it gives permission for a second object to sit beside it. This is why mess never appears one item at a time. It appears in clusters because a single delayed decision quietly invites more. This is the real secret behind Japanese tidiness. It has very little to do with owning less and everything to do with closing that decision point before it has a chance to open. And there are 4 specific habits that make this automatic. The first is what we can call the empty hand rule, and its roots trace back to something unexpected: karate. In traditional dojos, students are taught that a hand should never travel through a space without purpose. Every movement should complete an intention. This idea moved from the dojo into the home. The principle is simple. You never walk from one room to another with empty hands if there is something nearby that belongs elsewhere. Walking past the kitchen with an empty cup in your hand and not picking up the one already on the table breaks the rule. Walking upstairs without carrying the folded towel that belongs upstairs breaks the rule. It sounds almost too small to matter, but this single habit eliminates the majority of "I'll do it later" moments, because later never actually requires a special trip. It happens automatically along a path you were already walking. The second and third habits work together, and they concern 2 of the biggest culprits behind visual clutter: containers and surfaces. This is container discipline. In many Japanese homes, every category of object, cables, medicine, stationery, spare buttons, has a designated container, and that container has a designated home. The rule is not keep things organized. The rule is stricter than that. An object without a container does not get to stay. If something has nowhere to belong, it is either given a home immediately or removed from the house entirely. This single boundary is what prevents the slow creep of miscellaneous items that eventually cover a counter. Which brings us to the flat surface rule, arguably the most visually powerful habit of all. Tables, counters, entryway shelves, the top of a dresser. These flat horizontal surfaces are, psychologically, the most dangerous zones in any home, because they invite objects to simply be put down for a second. Japanese households often treat flat surfaces as almost sacred, meant to display 1 or 2 intentional objects, never to catch miscellaneous items. The rule is enforced through a simple mental checkpoint. Before setting something down on a flat surface, you ask whether it is going to stay there permanently, decoratively, or whether it needs a container instead. Nothing lands on a flat surface just for now. That phrase, "just for now," is banned because it is the phrase that built the mess in the first place. And finally, the habit that ties everything together, the weekly accumulation audit. Even with the first 3 habits in place, small drift still happens. A drawer starts to fill, a shelf collects 1 extra item at a time. So once a week, typically on the same day, there's a short deliberate walk through the home. Not a deep clean, just an audit. The question asked in each room is not, does this look clean? But what has accumulated here that does not have a place? This is a crucial distinction. It is not about scrubbing surfaces. It is about catching the handful of decision points that slip through during the week, before they multiply. 10 minutes, once a week, is enough, because the first 3 habits have already done 90% of the work. What makes this system remarkable is that none of these 4 habits require extra time. They are not chores added on top of a busy life. They are simply a different way of making the decisions you were already making. instantly instead of later. And once they become automatic, something interesting happens. The home stops needing to be cleaned because it was never really allowed to become messy in the first place. If you try even one of these, start with the empty hand rule. It's the easiest to build into a single day. You may notice something shift almost immediately. If this gave you a new way of seeing your own space, subscribe for more quiet lessons from Japanese daily life, and let us know in the comments which habit you're starting with first.